Welcome guys. So actually the whole purpose of making this video is that in the last 2 to 3 days actually I was trying to build a video chat application, like such as, let's say, if you wanted to communicate to anyone through a video call or a voice call. I was trying to build that application, and so for that I was actually using webrtc and other things to build this application. And I was actually it is actually kind of hard to build those applications if you are new. So to solve that particular issue, to make or build voice chat application or voice calling application, video application, anything, is it should not be that hard, it should be easy. To solve that problem, we have come across that we can use zegocloud basically. So in this particular video we are going to explore zegocloud, and I'm gonna show you how we can start building and how we can use zegocloud in the video, in the application basically. So what is zegocloud? Zegocloud is basically it's kind of a backend which just solve all your problems such as voice, video, chat API, other stuff. So let's explore what are the SDKs they provide. They provide video call, they provide voice call, live streaming, in chat application, and other stuff, like multiple other. But in this particular video, what we are going to do, we are going to perform the video call and the voice call thing. And yep, you can go through all of their docs and all of their website, like what are the things they offer most. And like it is actually quite easy to build all the applications using the zegocloud. Like they provide multiple SDKs such as Android SDK, iOS SDK, web, Flutter, React Native, macOS, Electron, and other stuff. But in this thing we are going to build for the Flutter thing, like how we can do it using scratch, like from the scratch. Like we'll create our first Flutter project and then we will connect it to the zegocloud and then we will do it. Like there are multiple things to there are multiple ways how we can integrate things. Like we will use Android as well as iOS integration. I'll show you how you can integrate zegocloud in iOS as well as in Android as well. Like there are some permission you have to take from the Android and there are some permission you have to take care of in iOS part. We will do that as well, like high availability and rapid scalability. There are multiple things. And let's say if you really love this platform, you can go to their pricing section. Like they offer quite generous thing, like around I think 10,000 minutes or something, or 1 lakh minutes or something. It is actually kind of free they are providing, so you can also see. And let's say if you wanted to see like what are the stuff they provide, let's say you have a custom requirement of your course or anything, you can also see here. Go to the pricing section, you can see the voice thing, like what are the participant. You can increase that. Let's say I want 5 participant, length of the call, let's say there is 45 minutes, 1 hour or something. You can also see that what are the monthly cost, estimated monthly cost. It is for the voice call. Let's say you have a video call thing, you have a live stream thing, or AI effect, whatever you want in your particular application, how you can build it. It is you can see the pricing here. So there are multiple products I have already show you, like video call, voice call, and other stuff, live streaming as well. And let's jump to the developer part. It is like how we are going to build it. So first of all, we have to create an account in the zegocloud, and then we are going to start making this particular thing. So UI experience, like experience pre-built, those are the things are actually pre-built, and it is actually very easy to do all the stuff. I have tried and tested out, and it is actually quite like 2 to 3 steps and it is done basically. Based on UI components, like they also provide a basic UI component flexibility for us. Let's say if you wanted to build an audio chat application, they will provide a bottom bar so that you can cut the call and exit from the call, other stuff. You can also customize that thing. We will explore that part as well. So we are going to use Flutter. Like let's say if you wanted to use audio view, we are going to use this audio view by this. Like you need user ID and foreground builder, whatever you want. There are other exceptions. Let's say if you wanted to catch other exceptions, you can also try that. we are going to look into that how the Flutter thing. You can go to the docs every time. Let's say you found an error, docs is always with you, and I will also show you how you can learn from the docs, or how you can explore the docs as well. Dark mode prefer, of course. So let's see the docs Flutter, and let's say if you wanted to basic call safety, follow those steps. There are multiple steps you can do this app call with the call invitation. You can also see that there are multiple things, like this is how this will show. So they kind of have a very good docs as well. Like I have tried and tested out, like there are so many packages they have also built. Let's say this command tree. See, they have already I think updated their package 15 hours ago. If you can see, there are so many packages the zegocloud provide, like Zego UI kit for signaling plugin and pre-built call as well. So those are the some packages the zegocloud already done. So see, this overlay, like this bottom bar which I was saying, is already being pre-built using the zegocloud. So yeah, that's probably it for the introduction of the zegocloud. Let's now deep dive into the coding part of the zegocloud thing, and let's create a very simple application where we will basically use a video call or a video chat application, or simply a voice application, not voice chat, and let's build it. I'm gonna show you how you can integrate the iOS and Android part, so that it just become very simple to do the stuff. So let's get started, and we'll show you how we can do that basically. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create our first Flutter project, and we are going to do the stuff, so like the coding part. So now what we are going to do is that go to your terminal and create your first Flutter project, or create your project. And I've created a boilerplate code, like what are the things which we are going to need. Here I have added an extra bit layer of security. What I did is that go to the website.yaml, and if you will see that flutter.net package, what it is going to do, that in my env file I'm going to store the credentials which are very much required, like the app ID or whatever the zegocloud is going to provide us for the development. And in the main.dart I'm gonna load this thing, so that my credentials doesn't get leaked out or something. It is a very good practice to basically do not push your credential in the GitHub, because this code is going to be live on the GitHub. So I do not want anyone to basically I do not want to expose my app ID or something. So it is a very good practice. What it is that go to the website.yaml and add this package, basically this, and in the asset folder, like in the assets, you have to add the env file basically. And in the main.dart I'm loading this file name .env, and in the app service I'm gonna call this thing. It is a basic template. What is going to happen, it is going to basically load this thing, and I'm gonna get the required parameters from here, base URL and app key. So this is the basic boilerplate code which is quite required. So now let's get started, and let's sign up for the zegocloud, and let's start our coding journey and create the first thing here. So let me do one thing, let me just create this, or let me just fill up this form, and then we'll get back. Okay, so I have created my account, and this is the screen which you will see. Let me just fill up this demo form, and then we'll continue. Okay, so I've filled out the form, and those are the free tier which I'm getting. We are getting like 10,000 minutes. It's quite a pretty generous tier, I can say. With the in-app chat, it is actually free and expire on like 26 to 2025. So go to a dashboard. Now let's explore what are the things that we see in our dashboard first. So it is expire on, like it is showing us the in-app chat was free and voice call with our limit, which is actually 10,000 minutes. We will see the balance. Let's say if you wanted to top up, we can also do that. Advanced support plan, we can go that. There are resources they will provide us like documentation, API reference, explore, demo apps, and other stuff. So for that, I wanted to show you something, that there is something that is called a UI kit. Okay, so let's create our first project and let's get started. Create a new project. I'm gonna create a voice and video call for now. You can also go to multiple other options if you want. Let's say you want video conference, you can go there. You want live stream, live shopping, and one-to-one tutoring, other, which whatever you want, you can basically select that. For now we are going to go for the voice and video call basically, and click next. Okay, there are two ways of using the zegocloud. First one is the UI kit, and second is the SDK part. The UI kit basically provides us multiple options, which I have showed you here. If you see, let me just align it. See, if you see this bottom bar or whatever, this bottom bar, it is already being built in the UI kit. So for faster development, I recommend to use UI kit. And let's say if you wanted to use SDKs and with a low level SDK or anything, you can also use the SDK. But for this particular video, we are going to build the application using the UI kit. I'm going to select my project name. Project name would be Zego video, basically. Zego video. How do I get my project name? You can see here, Zego video, basically. I'm going to click start with the UI kit. So it is creating our project, and yeah, let's wait for that to complete. The console is ready. We are now going for the Flutter thing. You can also choose according to your preference. You can, let's say you want to go web, you can go select web, you can go native and iOS, native Android, and for React Native as well. But for now we are going to go for Flutter. So click the Flutter thing. See, it will say the UI configuration, other stuff. Let me just close it. Back for Flutter. Yep, build your application. You can also click the one-on-one and group call, but for now we are going to go for one-on-one call. You can call invitation. You can also select, let's say you want call invitation or standard face notification, other stuff in your application. So I'm gonna save and start the integration. See, you will find your app ID below and the app sign as well. So for now I'll just blur that part or paste something here so that you should not be able to get that. So I'm going to copy my app ID and we are going to paste our app ID in our env folder, and we are going to paste the app sign in my env folder. So it would be like this: app ID and whatever your app ID is, and app sign here. So I'm gonna do it real quick and then we'll get back. Okay, so I've added my app ID in the init folder, and let's get started. And from the app service we'll get the app ID and app sign as well. You can also use the default URL and default key, so I'm gonna, for that I'll just use app ID basically, and for that I'll use app sign. So that's probably it, and go to the admin dashboard. That's probably it for this, and let's get started for our coding part basically, the creating our first Flutter project. And let's get to the home page. Here let's create a scaffold. At the app bar I'm gonna have a Zego video, let's say, and in the center we will just create something. Main coding part, what we are going to do, we are going to import this Zego UI pre-built call. So I'm gonna copy this and just go to a dependency and add this. So it will add the basically. So I've added a new file, basically interaction. Interaction is the thing that it will basically, the core concept of using the interaction is that it will help to interact the people of two peoples basically. So we will have in the home page, it will have a caller ID, so that let's say your friend is on the voice room or the video room and you wanted to join that particular room. For that you need your ID of that room. So for that I'm gonna use a home screen, and here we'll have a text editing controller. So final text editing controller, I'm gonna say it's text controller basically is equals to text editing controller. Here at the center you will have a text field, and controller would be our text controller. And decoration would go enter a caller ID, or you can generate the caller ID as well. So here we will need a button so that we can go from here, from one page to another page. So I'm gonna wrap this thing into the column part, and the center I'm gonna add this thing basically navigator dot push, or you can say not this, navigator dot push material page route, and I'm gonna need the context in this interaction. Basically in caller ID would be whatever we get. In the interaction page I've done nothing, I'm just getting the caller ID. Now that's probably it for the template part. Now let's see how we can do that. So in this we are getting the caller ID, and in the scaffold we are not going, it is not a big deal. What we are going to do, we are going to use zegocloud, okay, Zego, I think Zego kit or Zego UI kit basically. Zego UI kit pre-built call, yes, pre-built call. Yep. Here we are going to require app ID. How we will get our app ID? We will get the app ID from the API service. So I'm gonna call API service dot app ID. Okay, static. Okay, I'm on static yep, they need to be static. The interaction caller ID is required. String can be assigned to the parameter type int. Okay, it is required an integer. Okay, and so what we are going to do, we are going to go to the IPS service, and rather than int okay, it is required int. Okay, we'll do one thing, we'll just parse the int dot try parse, and source will be API service dot app ID. It could be null, so it would have let's say 0, and app sign I think it required. So what is the app sign? Can be string. Yeah, perfect. Now it required a user ID. Basically user ID we are going to give any random ID basically. So I'll say id dot unique. Let's import it. Okay, so I think for that I'll just do one thing. Final id is equals to random from random math next int, and let's say 1000 or something. So this we got the id. We will say user id would be the id whatever by end. Okay, ID. Username, let's say username would be whatever it is user ID, it will be as a username. So I'll say username of its ID, whatever it is ID, it is a username. Call ID will be the widget dot call ID, calling ID basically. And config, let's see what are the configs they provide. Zeco UI kit pre-built call config. Now we have to see what are the things that they provide. They provide a group video call, they provide group voice call, one-on-one video and one-on-one voice call. So I'm gonna do one-on-one voice call, and that's it. That's the whole coding part of the Zeco UI kit. Like, I'm gonna run this application and we'll see how this application is going to work. So I'll just create 2 emulators of Android, and then we'll test from Android and iOS part as well, and let's see how it works. Let's get started how we can configure our Android project in the zegocloud. So you can go to this documentation and follow the steps, or I have already followed the step. Let me just give you a very quick brief what are the things that you have to do. Let's jump back to the Android manifest. In the Android manifest, what you have to do, you have to add all the particular permissions, the camera, modify all the settings, other stuff, all the permissions you will find it here. Just copy and paste it out, and that's all for that. And in the build.gradle, what you have to do, you have to add particular dependencies like this implementation and main SDK version 21 and compile SDK version 33. And we are going to get back to this ProGuard thing. Let's ignore this for now. In the gradle/wrapper folder, and in the gradle wrapper properties, you have to edit this distribution URL. In the build.gradle, you have to add the build script like the extension Kotlin version, repository, and some dependencies. So that's probably it for the setup. And before continuing, let's see what are the ProGuard rules. So if you see the documentation, it is required. You can say to prevent the code obfuscation of the SDK public class name, you have to do the following thing. So that's it for the setup part of the zegocloud in the Android version. Now let's take a look of how we can do the iOS version. For now, we have to create a permission. In the podlog file, you have to do those particular things. And let me do one thing. Let me just do those particular things, and then we will continue. Okay, so let's see how we can configure the iOS part. So what you have to do, you have to go to the pod file and add this particular script, and also you have to add the permission in the info.plist file. So if you see in the code in the pod file, I've added this pause thing, like what are the permission thing, start from the permission handler configuration and end along with the info.plist file, basically this. So I think we are good to go. And in the next step, what we are going to do, we are going to run and test our application basically. So let's get started the testing part. The application in the iOS thing, and as well as the Android, I am using my own iPhone device, and let's get started how we can actually do that. So I'm going to create a video room, join the call, and it should ask me the video permission, and while using the app, perfect. So now the video is done. Let me join it on the iOS part. Join call. Like to access the camera, microphone, perfect. See, it is now working. Perfect. What you can do that it is now perfectly working, you can go to the VS Code and you can go change to the one-on-one voice call as well. So yeah, that's probably it for the zegocloud, and this is how you can basically connect your application from zegocloud to this. So that's what it for this video. Keep learning, keep exploring, and if you got any problem till now, and let's say you found any problems, or let's say if you found any issues, you can directly just reach me out at my LinkedIn. And that's my update for this video. Keep learning, keep exploring, and bye bye.